What is the hardest thing you've ever read? Maybe it was a cruel comment from a bully when you were a kid or a heartbreaking line from a tragic love story. Whatever it was, there's a good chance it doesn't compare to the pain of Jordan Miller's last message. Jordan suffered from mental illness and tragically took his own life in 2017 at the age of 21. But before he died, he wrote a heartbreaking note addressed to his sister, and it wasn't until after his death that she learned the truth behind the message. In an article published by the Daily Mail, Jordan's sister recounted the gut-wrenching story. When I was 13, my brother Jordan began having psychotic episodes. At one point he even talked about ending his life. It was incredibly scary and upsetting, but Jordan's condition worsened over time, and he became increasingly isolated. He would spend long periods of time without leaving his room, and his behavior became more and more erratic. I remember thinking how awful it must be for him because he couldn't get a girlfriend. He would always say he wanted a wife and children, but I knew it would never happen for him. Jordan's family tried everything they could to help him, including enrolling him in therapy and even putting him on medication, but nothing seemed to work. And eventually he stopped speaking to his family altogether. The only time he would communicate with them was through writing, and the messages he left behind were often cryptic and disturbing. He would write things like, "I feel like I am going crazy," or "I can't control myself." It was clear he was deteriorating. I just wish I had done more to help him. After Jordan's death, his family found a folder containing a series of disturbing videos and disturbing drawings. They didn't know he'd been making them. And it was clear that his mental state had become very dark. But one video in particular stood out. It was a message to his family and friends, and it explained why he had taken his own life. I ended up watching the whole thing, which was filmed on his phone. It was him sat on his bed talking to the camera. He looked awful. His eyes were blank and soulless. And then he started talking. He said he'd been hearing voices telling him to hurt himself. He said he couldn't take it anymore, and that he wanted to end his life so he could be with his imaginary friend. Then he smiled this horrible, evil smile and said, "I hope you find this funny now, but it's not funny. It's sick." Jordan's family was horrified by what they saw, but they also felt a sense of relief. Finally, they understood why he had been acting so strangely, and they knew that he was no longer suffering. If you or someone you know needs help, please don't hesitate to reach out. There are resources available to help you through tough times. You are not alone.